hey! Oh, what a nay, 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 what a nay.
How is this him being pro-Palestine? Also, do you think he knows what Kurdistan is? Like, I'm not saying I know for a fact that he's dumb, but he's a very popular live streamer with 5-year-olds, so it's probably safe to... What did you say? What did you say this to me for? Side genial, shut the fuck up. He donated to a Palestinian charity, I believe. Then why not link that rather than a bass-boosted mic blown out, you're being mean? No, I think I'm proportioning my response to the... Like, think for a second.
I don't understand why everybody is feeling me.
Somebody what?
Why everybody feeling me?
Who are you?
I'm the...
Where you from?
Israel.
Free Palestine, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Oh, this was before October 7th even. Damn, okay. Oh, pardon me for not knowing where he at, you know? That's before October 7th. Dude's like 5 years old here. He means Palestine, Ohio. Yeah, he might mean Palestine, Ohio. That's cool. Maybe he does know about Kurdistan. That's nice. One clip that went viral and logged millions of views was of Speed playing an online flag guesser game and stumbling upon the flag of Israel, after which he asked his livestream viewers, "Is it real? Is it real? Free Palestine, man." All right, that's funny. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Speed. I'm unfamiliar with your game. My take on Speed is that he's smarter than he comes off on stream and is mostly playing a character. I mean, that's probably going to be the case for a lot of live streamers. It's just, I've heard him and he shouted really loud, and then I closed the video, and that was my experience with him. If I'm gonna learn about somebody, you have to not shout at me that loud, and that's my opinion on it. Yeah, I saw Layler. What the f do you think, Oompa Loompa? Our global opinion of him just did a 180. I mean, I didn't have any negative perception of him outside the knowledge that he's loud and like a young, popular streamer, you know? Admittedly, the average streamer is kind of like a self-centered dumbass, so I guess my bias there would be against the streaming community broadly and not necessarily him as an individual, but, you know. According to The Intercept, following the crackdown at the protests at Columbia University, apparently they're instituting an anti-Semitism task force, and from now on, students are going to have to go through an orientation that says that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. Like this esteemed Ivy League university, you're going to have a course, or like not a course, like a trainer, and they're going to be like, hey, just to let you know. The article also revealed a mandatory anti-Semitism orientation be developed. The trainings will include expressions of anti-Zionism as examples of possible anti-Semitism, touching on a controversy that has enveloped the protests, crackdown, and larger national conversation about Israel-Palestine. That's cool. Anecdotes that the task force shared with Haaretz include disturbing examples of anti-Semitism, like a professor reportedly telling a class to avoid reading mainstream media declaring it is owned by Jews. Yes, that is bad. That is an anti-Semitic thing to say. Still really makes me question the motivations behind this, considering the crackdown and the fact that bigotries of all kind exist. I don't know why this one in particular deserves the massive police crackdown and then the imposition of a task force. Don't forget, Colombia suspended Ilhan's daughter after Ilhan questioned the president in Congress. Oh, I'm sure there's no relationship between those facts, okay? According to the Haaretz article, the task force's anti-Semitism definition is expected to determine that statements calling for the destruction and death of Israel and Zionism can be considered anti-Semitic, while criticism of the Israeli government cannot. So this is like a meaningless distinction, because the destruction and death of Israel and Zionism is a criticism of Zionism and the Israeli government. Israel is a government, it's a country, and Zionism is an ideology, not a people. Like, you can't, like, oh, you can criticize Israel, you know, you just can't call for its destruction or the destruction of Zionism, which would be tantamount to saying, like, you can criticize America, but you can't call for the destruction of America or of, like, you know, manifest destiny or white supremacy as concepts, which is like, if you can't call for the destruction of those things, then what's the purpose of any of this? I think Ilhan's daughter was suspended after something happened, but before the questioning that we're referring to. Ilhan's daughter was doing a lot of dedicated protesting. It's not like she was selected for nothing. It happened after. There were a few times that Ilhan was speaking about this in Congress. Ugh. The definition does not actually set any rules on conduct. For some reason, there are no actual rules about what sort of speech can be used by campus. Yeah, because they always do that shit, man. This is how you enforce unequal rules. You make them vague enough that the people in charge, who are, of course, like the leadership of the Columbia University, are Zionist, obviously. That's the whole problem here. can selectively interpret what can or can't be said in a way that allows them to conveniently expel people. But then if ever there's any question on like whether or not that was a legitimate expulsion or punishment or whatever, you can defer back to the vague rules and go like, oh, well, you know, if you interpret it that way. You never want specific definitions. No, like they can't discipline people for speech because of federal laws, but they do. But they did. They love doing that shit. Ever since the task force was announced, we feared it would equate Zionism and Jewishness, wrote 4 Jewish graduate students. All 3 co-chairs of the task force, Esther R. Fuchs, Nicholas Lehman, and David M. Scheiser, are members of the Academic Engagement Network, a Zionist advocacy organization, and the 3 of them penned a statement supporting Colombia's ties to Israel. I love to have my totally impartial committee on anti-Semitism be staffed entirely by zealous advocates of the state of Israel. The Academic Engagement Network mobilizes networks of university faculty and administrators to counter anti-Semitism, oppose the denigration of Jewish and Zionist identities. What a weird conflation there. Zionism is an ideology, not an identity. Judaism is an identity. It's a lot of things, really. Zionism's an ideology. This equates them. Promote academic freedom, I'm sure, and advance education about Israel. Not education about, say, Jewish studies, or education about Jewish history, or education about, you know, anti-Semitism or whatever, about Israel. Super cool. This is anti-Semitic? Yes, it is. Super cool. Abraham Accords Campus Initiative. In 2022, AEN launched the Abraham Accords Campus Initiative, the first of its kind project that leverages faculty at U.S. universities and colleges to harness the spirit of the Abraham Accords to counter anti-Semitism and anti-Israel bias. Dude, these are the people who they made the co-chairs of the anti-Semitism task force in Colombia. Who could be surprised by their ruling? Remarkable. Chat, don't forget that a lot of Jews genuinely see Israel as essential for Jewish survival. Yeah, and then for some weird reason insist that Israel be kept in a state of perpetual warfare by, like, bloodthirsty fascists who constantly engage in conflict with their neighbors, you know? Meanwhile, this prick is still a professor at Columbia. Columbia Business School, but yes. This pro-Palestine group is planning to hold a rally against Jamal Bowman. What? This is about AOC, not Jamal Bowman. I mean, there's Jamal Bowman, but the Bronx stands with Palestine against sellout politicians who trade Palestinian lives for votes. What is this in reference to? They endorse Biden? Oh, okay.